I was stuck in this endless loop where I didn't have the skills to make real games, but I was also spending a lot of time on actually learning game development. So you'd think, well, obviously, if you spend a lot of time like studying, watching tutorials, and trying to learn game dev, obviously you'll get better at game development and you'll release your game. But for me, that wasn't the case. And for a lot of beginners, and likely you as well, you can relate to this. You watch so many tutorials, you feel like you're spending all this time on learning game development, but at the end of the day, when you open up a game engine, you can't make a single game. And this exact mistake led me to actually quitting game development for multiple years. I lost the interest in game development because I didn't see the visible progress. I felt like it was too hard and that I just wasn't smart enough, I wasn't good enough, and that game dev, it just wasn't for me. And I just became frustrated and I eventually quit, or took a long break at least. But fortunately, I came back. I don't know what exactly was the thing that made me go back to game development. I think it was just like the internal wish that I had to actually become a game developer that makes games, which is the point I've come to in my life right now, where I can actually finish the games that I want to make. And that's after I learned this mistake, that tutorials, they just create the illusion of progress. But in reality, you can't build anything yourself. And that's what game dev is. It's building your own games. It's not building these systems that you found online. It's actually making your own systems, making your own games, combining everything, and actually having a fun game that people can play. But as I said, tutorials, they just create the illusion of progress. You get the illusion that you're making your own systems, but in reality, you're just copy and pasting the code that you see on the other screen, like you're watching on YouTube. So it's just an illusion of progress. You feel like you're actually learning, feel like you're productive, you feel like you're spending all this time learning, and you actually feel like you become better. And that one specific thing, that's the harmful part. That you feel like you're actually better than you actually are. Because that leads you to thinking you can do all these things, but when you try, you realize that you don't have the skills to actually do them, and that's where you fail. That's where you get so demotivated that you take these long breaks or even quit, just like I did for multiple years. Basically, every project that you start and you think that you can finish, but you eventually fail on, just reinforces the belief that you're not good enough. And eventually, when you think something for long enough, eventually it will become true. That's just the rule of the universe, basically. If you just say you're not good enough to yourself enough times, eventually your brain will believe it and you'll start acting like it's true. So after you won't see any visible progress, and after enough of these I'm not good enough moments, you'll eventually start feeling demotivated. And when you're demotivated, you'll make less progress. That's how game development is. So it's kind of a loop. You see no progress, then you become demotivated, and then you get less progress. So it's just a loop. And you can kind of see that you also can reverse it. You can reverse it to having small wins, which gives you motivation, which gives you more progress. And in game development, this is the concept of momentum. And it's so important. And so many game developers, they don't even know about this concept, but it's so important. So important that you get small wins, get the motivation that you need to make more progress and actually learn more, become better. And then you can make even bigger wins, you get even more motivation, and you can make even more progress. So instead of being in this failure loop, you can just reverse it and you can actually come into this winning loop where you just build so much momentum and you're making so much progress. And that's where you want to be. And in reality, it's not even that hard. The only thing is that you have to be conscious of it and you have to take some action. And you might think now, what's the action? And obviously, since I'm so kind, I'm obviously going to tell you how you're going to prevent this failure loop. And that's by building small things. You get motivation by building small things. I know like what image you have in your mind right now. Scale that down. Literally. It's going to be so small that you are able to do 100% without external resources. Like, this is something that you should work on for more than a few days even. And this is actually one of the hardest things about getting into this winning loop. That's actually just ignoring your ego and actually making something small that you can actually finish, and something that can actually give you momentum. Because that's what we talked about. When we're watching tutorials, we think we can do more than we actually can, and thus we get into this mindset that we think we can do bigger projects than we actually can in reality. So that's why you have this belief in your mind that when I say a small project that you can finish in a few days, your idea is going to be, with 99% likelihood, it's going to be something that's bigger than what I'm talking about here. Because the thing here is not that you're going to challenge yourself. Like, at this specific point, we shouldn't focus on doing something challenging. That's not what I said either earlier. I didn't say something challenging builds motivation. That's not what I said. I said small wins builds motivation, which gives you more progress and then more skills. And obviously you can say that you learn from challenges and things that are hard. Obviously I think that too. But at this specific phase of our game development journey, the point isn't to do something challenging, it's just to get some motivation so that we can get this winning momentum. And that winning momentum we get from actually doing something that we feel like we're mastering. I'm pretty sure 90% of you guys that you get like joy and you enjoy doing things that you feel like you can actually master and you're good at. Like, we can take whatever it might be. For me, it's swimming. I'm not that good of a swimmer. Like, obviously I can swim, but I can't swim that fast, I can swim that long, and I get tired fast. So I'm not a good swimmer. And that makes me not want to swim. Like, I don't want to swim like for long distances. And the same applies to game development. If I feel like I can't master it, if I feel like I'm very bad at it, I won't do it. And chances are, like most humans are, you're going to feel the same way, and we can apply that to game development. If you feel like you're not good at game development, then you'll not want to do it. So the goal here is simply to build motivation, and that comes by building small things, so we can actually just start this loop of constant momentum. But when I say this, I don't want you to overuse AI or overuse external resources. There is a student inside of Smart Indie, top link in the description by the way, which struggles with using AI way too much. And I can also relate to this. Especially as beginners, we can't use AI that much. His problem was also that he felt like he wasn't good at coding because he knew he used AI so much. Like, I can personally relate to this, that when you use AI so much, it just kills the feeling that you actually coded this and like the proudness you get from the release project. Like, when you release a project that you used AI for in a lot, you just feel like the product isn't yours in a sense, and you can't feel proud of it, and that doesn't build your motivation. So use AI minimally, only use it for like ideas, structures, planning, or explaining or reviewing your own code, like the code that you made. Don't ever get code from ChatGPT or an AI unless it's like a very specific and hard problem that you used like half an hour, 1.5 hours on actually trying to solve yourself. If you can't do that, then you can use AI just to overcome that, and so that you aren't stuck for multiple days. At this specific point in our game dev journey, the only thing we should get code from ChatGPT in this specific scenario is when we actually have this specific issue that we can't solve for half an hour, 1.5 hours, like I said. And the second trap that you're also probably going to encounter if you didn't listen to this is perfectionism. So don't spend time polishing things in this small project. It's just to build some wins. But if you really like polishing, you can do that after you've made the core mechanics, but focus on that first. Make the playable game first, then you can polish it up later if you want to, but don't spend that much time on it. The goal here, just to release something, it's not to make it perfect. It should be ugly. Like, you shouldn't spend all this time on like importing assets or tweaking the post-processing, wherever it might be. Just make something that functions. If you really enjoy art, sure, spend some time on the art, but don't spend that much time on polishing. So that's what I recommend. If you want to become a game developer and go from idea to a fully released game within only 6 days, you can go click the first link in the description, and I'll see you there.